So I put all the trees, or a bunch of trees, up on benches, and these are all my own pots. So some of them are cracking and some of them aren't. You can see maybe this one here is cracking a little bit. This one obviously is cracked a little bit up here. And what I realized is that I've been missing kind of a crucial part of bonsai, is that refinement piece. Partly because I didn't have trees good enough, but also I just hadn't been doing it. You know, don't have a show to put anything in, and then I realized, oh, I can do my own little show. So anyways, this is the third year. So this is my third year of bonsai. So any of these trees, that's the longest I've had them. Or you saw me style it earlier this spring. It's got this huge drop branch, which is a bit extreme right now, but I kind of like it, and maybe I'll shorten it some more. But it, you know, it's only growing that little inch. Some of these are a little bigger down here, so it's still kind of coming together. Here's one of those bird's nest spruce. Actually, I really like this pot. It's got a bigger lip. It's one of the newer ones I made, but it needs a trim. The crumbling aspen forest. Moss is dried up. Yeah, it needs a lot of sun, and we were in an extreme heat wave. It's been 3 weeks of over 30 degrees. We've had 45, which is like 110 Fahrenheit. So really, really hot. And what's interesting is this back tree, I don't know if you can see it there, it's dead. It was connected. You know, these are a colony, so it's connected. And one of these trees, I think, just took its life really quick. And I've seen this with a different one I had. And just sucked all the energy and put it into the main tree, so it just died back. So that's you know, something to think about when growing those. Here's the fir that I styled early in the year. Now this is super strange. So it produced this. This is this year's growth, and right now, July, I don't know, 14th or something, it's pushing out another flush of growth. So, and the other interesting thing about this is I had this over here, if you remember, and when it dried right crossing over. So I think I'll have to move this in so it doesn't cross over, or reduce it or something, because I don't like it crossing the trunk line there. So yeah, and I think that's its original position, and I had wired it out, and then once I didn't let it grow long enough, so pardon that one. Little willow, with a tiger in it. It's just got unique movement. Wires starting to cut in again, so I will take it out. And there's little buds and growth shooting everywhere. There's been a bunch up and along the trunk, and I've had to like just pinch off as it grows. This is that maple. I've re-flipped it around. I don't think I posted the video where I trimmed it a bit. This is the other side. So tell me what side you think you like better. I really don't know. I've been leaning towards back towards this side. So post in the comments what you think of which side you think it would be better on. This is a subalpine fir forest. You know, so unfortunately I collected this, and unfortunately this one died here. This one died, and I thought, oh, I could pull off all of the needles. And so I did is instead of doing that, you know, I said, well, they'll all fall off next year, so I can enjoy it this year like that. And you know, it could look like a recently dead tree, or you know, sometimes even our larch, when they lose their needles, will be mixed. It has a bit of that forest feel, and so I put a couple rocks. Now a lot of this moss, I just collected it, and I'm actually going to take a lot of it off after this, because we're in this extreme heat wave. It'll all just die unless I salvage it, and plus it's too much. I need those roots to dry out and get lots of oxygen, because they're not in like a pure non-organic mix. Yeah, and so then I've placed a few rocks here, and this pot's nice. It hasn't cracked. Great. Little maple, just kind of coming along. Didn't think much of this one. Had 1, 2 sort of chunk chops on its way up. Moss is growing nice. You can see this is live growing good moss compared to the old sort of rejuvenated moss. And this is a container I got at the thrift store. And there's drilled some holes in it, and yeah, it looks nice with that. Rosemary. This one spent the whole winter inside by a window, and I just let it grow out. It probably was this long, and then and so it's super lanky, you know, stretching for the light. So then this spring I just chopped it basically all that growth over the winter inside off, and let it rejuvenate and grow. And then actually just this morning I cut this branch. There was a branch here, and it looked like a bar branch. It looked like 2 branches, so I cut that off. You can see some new growths coming out. If I remember correctly, I just took a lot of branches. I didn't take a lot of the leaves. So there's not a lot of room for new buds to shoot up, you know, up on the stems back a bit. And there's one here you can see forming, but it's just kind of, it's just growing along. And been doing surprisingly well in the heat wave. Been in a lot of shade. And I have a subalpine fir. Haven't really done much to display this one, but it's in a nice pot. I do like this kind of twin trunk. I haven't really styled it at all, so that's just a project in the future. Cascade. Saw that one just in a recent video. And the subalpine fir. This actually also spent a winter inside, not last winter, but the winter before. So it's actually it's almost stunted it in a really good way, because the needles haven't grown large, and I just really like that one. One of the earliest trees I collected, so it's kind of special. And the little fluffball spruce. You guys saw that in the video recently. It actually looks kind of like it in the display, because it breaks up. You know, it's just something different. Kind of changes it. There's that little that little hemlock I did earlier. There's a container with a rock in it. The rock's growing on me. And this here is another subalpine fir. I trimmed just a little bit, few branches. The apex was doing this strange thing, kind of dying off, and a new apex forming, so I kind of opened it up. But it does need to get some taper. Yeah, it's I mean, you can see here's the moss that's growing and green. This is the new moss I've added, so you can see the color difference. And put a couple rocks in there just to add some display.